Hello everybody, and welcome to another Slasher Day night on twitch.tv/purblindgamer. Not a mite, not a bite, what a Slasher Day night. I am your host, Purblind Gamer. You might recognize me as that idiot who managed to reset the game right before the penultimate boss on the last stream. Yeah, we're never going to talk about that again. Hey, Dragon Gem, how are you doing? Everybody, please go check out Dragon Gem. Another awesome streamer. Hope your weekend's going well, Dragon Gem. Oh, that's awesome. Playing Dreamo. Ah, I think that's that thing that we had to pour down the shower when it wasn't draining. Oh no, wait, that was Drano. Dreamo, something like that. But yeah, I might at some point play through Quackshot on my own back to the point where I accidentally reset it and then stream the last little bit on stream some other day. Maybe at the same time we're playing another Disney game. Because I feel bad about that. I realized what it is the emulator. The reset the machine button is tab. And the buttons that I use as the hotkey to zoom in and out are shift and caps lock. You can see the danger here. Yeah. I'll have to make sure that I remap the reset button or just don't hit the wrong buttons in general. Or save states. Yeah. Oh well, part of the dangers of gaming. Not using original hardware. It's a little harder to hit the reset button on the Genesis if you're playing with an actual Genesis. Well, sometimes if you bump it with your foot and it's a Model 1 Genesis, it'll decide to reset itself. If it's a very well-played Genesis that needs some work. But in keeping with the retro theme today, I decided we're going to be playing Night Slashers, which is a beat-em-up that I think I played it once. I've heard about it a lot. It's, I think, from the golden age of arcade beat-em-ups, and supposed to be unusually bloody for the time, but also a lot of fun. And, unusually bloody. I think this was pre-Mortal Kombat, and it doesn't look especially realistic. But it's also supposed to be, really fun to play. Somebody was comparing it to Alien vs. Predator, which I think is one of the greatest beat-em-ups ever made. So, yeah, I think it'll be a fun time. And following advice from people, I've just decided to start labeling when I play a retro game, rather than listing the specific game, I'll just say that I'm streaming in the retro category and make it clear from the title which game I'm streaming. But that way, some people who are browsing the retro category might wander in. I really wish Twitch had a horror category, though, because I feel like I'm not the only one who sometimes is in the mood to just watch a horror game. Let's see what people are playing horror rather than having to search for the specific game. So, I'll go ahead and start up Night Slashers. Alright, it's already started up. I just have to start it. Winners don't use drugs, as we learned from our Crime Patrol stream. Can't get over how hilarious it was that they included that in that game. And I saw they recently... Hot tub category was horror. I'm sure it can be sometimes. I think there was a movie about a haunted hot tub or a hot tub bloodbath, something like that. But everybody, please go check out Hairball, who's another really cool streamer and recently made affiliate, Poggers. So they recently reported this and re-released it on GOG. Which is nice that they're porting games like that. It's been 3 months since that fateful day came to pass. The world overrun by monsters, mutants, and the walking dead has become all but armies overrun, survival supplies running low. The few remaining humans have almost run out of hope. Is it supposed to be silent? Oh, there's the sound. Are you okay? Yeah. I feel like we've all been there, Hairball. Hit the wrong keys and... just too easy to do. Just keyboard has the keys packed too tightly. Also, frankly, there shouldn't be a reset key. I mean, unless I actually need it. Like when I'm playing, if I were to play X-Men, and it forces you to press the reset button on your Genesis in one level, then I might need it. But why would I play X-Men? That game is punishingly hard. Hurry up! The zombies are getting closer! We better get out of here. These guys must be stopped. Well, I don't know about you guys, but this makes me want to put a coin in. Introducing us to the 3 characters. It's safe in here. Leave the rest to us. Who are you? Us? I'll tell you who we are. Night Slashers. That's fun. There we go. You the Who. Who are we? We are the Who. It's like that Animaniac sketch. Skippy, who's the band on stage? That's right, Aunt Slappy. I'm asking you, who's the band on stage? Yes. Destroy all zombies and mutants in the hospital. Love intros like that. It's kind of like Contra Hardcore and a couple other things. Can't remember. Oh well. Oh, okay. That's bloody. That is bloody. Yeah, it's a great entrance. Night Slashers? It's a arcade exclusive beat 'em up. I mean, until it was released on GOG a little while ago. But yeah, this was actually in arcades. It was exploding heads. Wow. I know Data East made some other classic games. I'm trying to remember what other beat-em-ups they made other than Captain America and the Avengers. And then some like 2D only games that are kind of beat-em-ups, which have the ability to move up and down. I wonder how they're going to top themselves gore-wise. I mean, they're starting out pretty strong. Probably because they figured a lot of people wouldn't necessarily put in a second coin, but would still want to get to make a few dead people explode into a bloody mound. Wow. can't tell if the humans are cheering for me or asking to be let out. Oh. The bodies aren't all dead. And that zombie's got a knife. Or maybe that's a mutant. What's that? Oh. Whatever it was I missed. I have a suitcase? Well, my friends, what would you like to be transformed into? A zombie? Out the questions, pal. It's time to meet your maker. Actually, yeah, he did. I'm glad we agree on this. Oh, he must have said delicious. What's that? Does his knife set me on fire? This guy has some amazing technology up in here. You know, it just occurred to me. I bet the Zombie Smashers X series was inspired by this. Even though it played more like River City Ransom. At least the first one. Oh. And he melts. Oh, he wasn't the boss. Some new friends to see me? How pleasant. Time for a party. Ready when you are, freak. Since you have a life bar, I'm forced to assume that you are in fact my enemy. Credit down already. Oh, well, you know, these beat-em-ups, they're supposed to really drain your wallet. I mean, arcade games in general. Ooh. Oh, he can block. I bet they're all going to die in a very wet fashion. Ha ha ha, you've done quite well for a human. Make it all the way. You'll never stop us, demon. Okay, so that's the guy in charge of all the zombies and mutants, I gather. Notice, yeah, the ordinary enemies don't have life bars, just the bosses. Oh, is he a werewolf that just transformed? Like, well, if we're gonna make a horror game, why not include all the monsters? Even the bats explode.
You caught me off guard.
No, this game is reasonably tough. No dialogue. It's like a phantom carriage. Oh, they did right, of course they did Karnov. My partner and I will get rid of you once and for all. Yeah, we'll teach you a lesson. Is that a dummy? I'm not afraid of a no-talent bum like you. Oh, right, those are all the beat-em-ups. Right, I was thinking of bad dudes earlier. Can we kill the ventriloquist dummy? Die, Slappy. Oh. And I was thinking of, like, Bad Dudes is one of my favorite games ever. And I was thinking, it is kind of a beat 'em up, but also like a platformer. Yeah. It's like, I guess Bad Dudes was kind of early in what would be called the golden age of beat 'em ups. Oh, we still gotta kill the dummy. So it was different from, you know, the traditional, like, belt-scrolling beat-em-up. And there was another game called Crude Buster, or Two Crude Dudes in the Ports, which was, I think, by Data East, because it was supposed to be sort of a follow-up to Bad Dudes. It's better graphics, but I honestly didn't think the gameplay was as good. A beat 'em up in which somebody throws his head. It's executioners all over again. Data East did a lot of really good games. Oh, he does have a life bar. There, I see it. Yeah, I know, damn Karen. I thought these ventriloquist dummies, the heads were supposed to stay attached, and if they fell off, you thought there was something wrong. Okay. But how are you doing tonight, Dame Karen? You know, that death animation sums up this game pretty well. Let's try another guy. Dude with long blonde hair. Clearly Alucard. Oh, yes. Oh, nice. I'm sorry you still have a bit of a cold, Dame Karen. But yes, it's hard to tell who's stalking whom at this point, Hairball. I think there are allegations flying both ways. Sort of like that guy with his knife flying both ways. I like this guy. I think this is Christopher? He's stronger. Oh! Right. Now I think I've finally figured out the trick for volume. I just decreased the game to 50%. I mean, if you say it often enough, people at least believe it's true, so it's almost the same thing as it being true. What is absolute truth? But yeah, I saw Seacross is playing his Russian dandy console. Which is really cool. Uh-oh, a Cairn or something. Crush all intruders! I don't think you'll be doing any crushing today. I know. I know it's frustrating because it seems like half the time there are 2 streamers or 3 streamers I know who I want to watch at the same time. It's like, well, I guess I'll lurk in one and chat in one, or try and chat in both. What happened? We have limited voice samples, might as well at least make them fun. I swear, it sounds like he's laughing even when he gets punched out. I suppose if you're a Ben Grimm figure, it makes sense since you can't feel pain. Ooh, nice. Like Pork in the Winter Soldier? Oh, Korg. This guy is much better at using enemies as weapons. Red Skull, right? Keeping with the theme of Data East doing Marvel licensed games. Oh, the rock monster in Thor. Gotcha. I haven't seen Thor in so long. I'm so behind on Marvel news. Oh, yay. The golem just met his maker. I can't believe I said that. Ooh. Do we get to beat up a car? Oh. Oh my god. It's whack-a-mole, but with zombies. Thor, bro. Oh my god, this is the wildest takeoff on whack-a-mole I've ever seen. Squash a zombie. Look, there's his castle. Oh, in a New Zealand accent. Probably should watch that movie again. Drug zombies. I didn't look too closely at the posters. Yeah, it's like, I think it was Shaun of the Dead where they, you know, after a while they start using zombies in games or like sports. Oh, I should have read the posters. Oh, he comes across as really cute. Another briefcase. Jojo the Rabbit. I thought he was an idiot circus boy. But I haven't seen Jojo Rabbit. I know my roommates were saying it's a really good anime, but it's not dubbed, so it's hard to get through. Or was that JoJo's Bizarre Adventure? Splat. Sorry, what was that about being a vampire in a house? Oh, his head exploded off screen. Oop, environmental hazards. Oh, he's got one of those fireball shooting axes. Oh, okay. Sounds. I've heard the name Jojo Rabbit, but I didn't really know much about the premise. It was just, my mind automatically goes to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, or JoJo the Idiot Circus Boy from Blood. Splat. Oh, a comedy till it isn't. So Romeo and Juliet. Ha! That's right. Hitler would definitely hate that. Pleasant irony. The obligatory elevator of death level. I like this guy, Christopher. He can really sling the enemies around. But hey, in Final Fight, my favorite character was always Hagar. I will watch that movie eventually. There's so many movies I want to watch eventually. No, it was Mike Hagar, who was one of the 3 playable characters in Final Fight. I will not let thee pass. I won't let you stop me from getting through. That's straightforward. But when I was like 6 or 7 years old, I knew about Hagar the Horrible from the comics, and so I just assumed that his name was Hagar. But yeah, they didn't say it out loud. Yeah, it's like a ridiculously gigantic sword. Maybe this guy's inspired by Monty Python. It's like Cloud level from Sword, or a guy from Soul Calibur 3. The sword's so big it's almost comic. I want to say it was Siegfried. He's the only Soul Calibur I really got into. I guess that's about as gory as you can get when you're a disembodied or animated suit of armor. Oh, the paintings are alive. I love it. I guess the zombies everywhere. Yeah. I guess it's the life bars are smaller. I wonder if it allowed for 3 simultaneous players. The rate at which they drain isn't quite as egregious as some games, but it's still a bit like fast. Just a couple hits from a medium tier enemy. Oh, it's straight out taking chunks of flesh out of me. Oi! Oh yeah, we appreciate that, Hairball. Oh, that makes sense. So he wouldn't necessarily want to know. Or to make it as realistic. Oh, Sam Rockwell. Oh. Oh, Moon. Wow, that was a good movie. I haven't seen that in so long. I think our library got the DVD not long after it came out, so my dad and I saw it. Oh, in Galaxy Quest. That was a funny movie. Yeah, some actors, it's like, you can't even remember what you first recognized them from, because you've seen them so many times. Or you'll see them or hear them in a certain movie and be like, I forgot they were in that too. Oh my god. I love The Hitchhiker's Guide. But actually, the miniseries was the first time, or my first experience with it. I went back and like listened to radio drama and read the scripts later. I haven't read the books. But it's one of those things I'm never sure like which is the best thing to do first, like the radio drama or the books. Yeah, Douglas Adams was the greatest comic writers. Oh, it's in TMNT also. Gosh, this guy's tough. With Street Fighter-like moves. There, yeah. How do you like the knife when it's about the other throat? Yeah, I figured those coffins wouldn't be empty. Are those vampires? Maybe they are. I know there's also the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy video game, which I always intended to play, but I still have never really gotten into text adventures. And I've also heard it ended on a cliffhanger and was then not continued. And something tells me no one's going to make a sequel to it now. Seven Psychopaths. I don't know that one. 7 Psychopaths for 7 Brothers. Legend of the 7 Golden Psychopaths. You humans think you can do away with me, huh? I could finish you off with one hand tied behind my back. Oh, here's the main character in 7 Psychopaths. Oh, Tom Waits too. Get Up reminds me a little bit of Dracula. Is it Symphony that I'm thinking of? Probably. No, I mean, it's probably the cape. So we don't have a whole lot of in-depth plot here. There's a giant vampire demon dude who's caused the zombie and mutant outbreak, and he enlisted a doctor to help him. Oh, yeah, Tom Waits is the devil or a psychopath. I haven't played both. What's her name? The female character with the Asian-sounding name. I don't know, zombie pandemic. And then he gets all invincible when he summons the zombies, so she can get in a few good licks when he regains corporate. You can't do that. That's only I can throw people around. People rude. I have no idea how many quarters I would have spent by this point. Actually, hey Dame Karen, that was something I've always been curious about. What coins do arcade games run on in Australia? Or did they traditionally? I know at some point in England it was pound coins, which always seemed like frightfully expensive. Even if you destroy me, you'll never be able to close the portals to the kingdom of darkness. Only a fool says never. Never said never said never. Oh, it was on the 4th stage. It seemed like we'd been playing longer. Right. Wow. $1 or $2. Cause you guys have dollar coins there? It's like most countries that aren't the U.S. do. The U.S. I mean, the U.S. does, but we just don't use them because we're special. Oh man, look at those entrails. It's like fewer and fewer places have dollar notes. Carries a knife in a briefcase.
You think you can beat me?
I won't allow you to seal the portal. You just said your last words. Wow. Oh yeah, those cards in the modern arcades. I never got into that. Yeah. I know, so many countries do that, have different sizes of money. And also different colors, like... Remember I was giving my sister, like, money for when she was traveling to Korea, and she was saying, oh, the colors are so different. And I'm like... And I didn't notice, and I'm like, oh, is it... I never thought about that. Are the colors not so different on US notes? Oh. Yeah, I bet it would take a while to tell them apart. I mean, to learn. And especially, like, before they made the new, like, higher denomination bills, like, the $1 and $2 bills still look like they always did, but 5 and up look different now, like, still somewhat similar to each other, but harder to counterfeit, apparently. The portal is sealed. Better find the other one. Hurry! Oh, they started to make them differently. Glad they did. Oh, right. Because it's not just the federal... Or it's not just a federal sales tax, it varies state to state. Oh, okay, the colors are different, but... Yeah, I was thinking all the US notes are still the same size. Because I read at some point they were trying to get legislation. Oh, nice, the GST is included in price, which I guess puts an additional burden on the companies to figure it out, but makes it a lot easier for the consumer. Oh, that's right. Some of the cities do have more sales tax. I forgot about that. I don't know if it's mostly bigger cities or... Okay, wow, the draining life bar is really fast up in here. Am I accidentally skipping half the cutscenes? Because I'm not really clear on how we went from sealing the portal to, okay, zombie airplane, Flight of the Living Dead. That's actually a movie. Oh, I can do that? You'll riot if they try and change the GST. 10%'s nice and easy to calculate. None of this, well, 4.5%. Wow. That's really interesting about the sliding scale of the tokens at the arcade hairball. I feel like most of the arcades I've been to, the tokens were standardized at the same as a quarter. But going from a nickel to $1, wow. Not to be a stickler, but didn't I, like, kill you and didn't your sword crumble to dust? Oh, right, boss montage. Oh, yeah, I figured it was over years, but still. Interesting that they started with nickels. Yeah, it must get you so you can do it really easily after like enough time getting used to it. I'm trying to think if I've ever played any. Know that I've played many arcade games that are older than the. Occasionally you still run across from the early 80s, but probably also they would like, if they start out at a lower price, they would be retrofitted to be a quarter. But no, Pong was a quarter. Yeah. Weird to think about Pong being a quarter and Space War being a quarter. Like, they came out right before there was all that inflation, so quarter seems surprisingly high. I don't know, maybe that's what pinball was at the time. At least they make plenty of noise when they die, so you can tell when one's dead. Yeah, it seems like with these the modern arcades going to cards, it's less straightforward to know. It's harder to know exactly how much you're putting into a game at Dave and Buster's or something, since the credits don't. It seems like they don't always easily like reduce to monetary value. Okay, so you all's coins are $1 and $2 coins are gold. I think I remember someone saying that our presidential dollars are golden. Like, Susan B. Anthony dollars might not be. They're more like before we had the presidential and Sacagawea dollar coins. And continuing the tradition of fat people in beat-em-ups not adhering to physics. It's been a while since I've had such worthy opponents to defeat. Finally, a sparring partner with a little life in him. Well, yes, we are fighting a giant cyborg mummy suddenly. Ooh, cake, I'll save that. Yeah, that's really good. I think all of our money is, or the coins are different sizes too. A pharaoh with leg warmers, yeah. Very much an 80s pharaoh. Makes sense. It's only the state and local governments that get the sales tax. Because the feds get, have plenty of other ways to get their money. Soup. Oh, a knife. I can. Yay. Whack a pharaoh. Oh yeah, 10%. Easy to divide between the state and federal. Unhand me, sir. Ideally without killing me first. Yay! But wait, there's more. Ah. Zombie bowling. Oh, he gave me a thumbs down. Zombie bowling. Oh, over there. Scream ice cream. River Hospital. Yeah, our chopper has seen better days. Wish it could have landed on a few zombies, squashed them. But interesting, the arcade's not having less than like dollar coins in Australia. I assume that Australian dollars are worth a little less than US dollars, but still, it seems like that's quite a bit more money than a quarter, but I remember reading of some arcade games where they had different regions, like mostly PAL, Japan, and the US, but some had specific Oceania variants. Okay, $1 Australian is 75 cents US. Ah, Master Alucard. Hey. Oh, yeah, they do sound more expensive there. Hopefully they at least made the games a little easier to compensate. Oh wow, the blue-eyed ever-loving thing died pretty quickly this time around. That's right, we're just going to take out a chopper with our bare hands. At least Joe Musashi had shurikens. I know, it does like. At first I thought it was like the Phantom carriage earlier, but I think it's just supposed to be like so you can still see your character when you'd be blocked by it, which is kind of considerate of them. Not diegetically semi-transparent. I don't know. Maybe the zombies and demons have some cloaking technology. It's one of those games where, yeah, if you're not really good, it would take several dollars to beat. But you keep going, because you want to see more intestines and, you know, heads bloodily falling off and bouncing away. Speaking of blood. I wonder if you can pound multiple zombies into the ground at once. Cake. That cake healed the equivalent of like one punch. Sorbet. You ever noticed how unhealthy like food is in most beat 'em ups? It's like, barbecue, soda, cake, sorbet. And occasionally you'll get a vitamin that does a little bit, and then it's right back to steak and hamburgers. Oh yeah, that's true. Like even if you don't race well, at least in the racing games, you usually get to finish it. But they are more fun with friends. I've played a few racing games with friends, but I never liked them as much as other genres, and I think part of it was because one of the first racing games I played was Pole Position, and that's like, I mean, it was maybe the OG, but it was freaking hard. Like, you get 3 lives, and if you nick one car or one sign or anything, you explode. Like, is this realistic? Face me yourself, Death. Oh, I wasted a flaming sword. Oh. Enjoyed the driving games more than actual driving. Taunting them into the ground isn't that necessarily that useful. Or at least when you're facing like bosses and mid-bosses. Yeah, you might explode a little more when you're going that fast. Still, I like the racing games where you can, you know, if you hit something, you might spin around a little bit, and it's possible to wreck, but it's not like, you know, insta-death every time you have a fender bender. Steamed dumpling, or something. Steamed zombie. Hey, RDM Havoc, welcome in. How are you doing? Yeah, how are you doing today, Havoc? I was concrete walls in the Formula 1 races. That does sound dangerous. Everybody, please go check out RDM Havoc. Who's another awesome streamer we love to hang out with. It was... Actually, I ended up going into the office yesterday, but I was lurking in your stream a bit, Havoc. Who was it? Oh, and you were streaming today, weren't you? How did that go? Zombie gold. Oh, good. Oh, it was that driver dying that got them to finally make it safer. I don't know how to fire my arm cannon. I'm like Wild Dog meets Alucard. Oh, okay, it was a tournament you were streaming. And how'd you do in the tournament, or were you the one running it? I wasn't sure. It's good the heat wave's over or better where you are. Oh, overload, because that was the thing you used to stream quite a bit. Oh, you're the team captain. Cool. Oh my, the guy exploded. Ooh, a beaker of something. Let's drink it. Boss montage. This must be the last level. Ooh. You said you won the last one, or you want? I know I'm really not playing well, but this game is difficult. Oh. So they've had lots of time to practice, so they've been playing since the original Descent days. I was one hit away from turning him into a pool of wax or something. At last, we've reached the monster that's behind this all. Unfortunately, I'm not the one, but I am the one that will keep you from getting any further. Get your bony mitts off of me. Yeah, Skeletor in robes. Like with an arcade game, if after a certain point I would be like, okay, I put enough money into this, this is ridiculous. Or if I'd be like, well, since I put so much money in it, I can't just cut my losses, I gotta finish. I gotta prove to this game that it cannot beat me by, like, feeding $10 into it. Yeah, that'll teach it. An arcade game's gonna mess with me after this. If I can get... Oh, what's he doing? How long ago did they take quarters still? I don't know, because there would be, like, occasionally you would still see one or two arcade games in a small restaurant or something, and they would still take quarters. I mean, they probably still do. Like, most of the arcades, the traditional arcades, would have gone to tokens. Like, the one back home that was technically still in business till the pandemic, it took tokens. And also, like, in some large cities, they have, like, bar arcade combinations, but it seems like what some of those do is they, you know, they have the machine set to free play, so as long as you're in there and buying drinks, they don't worry about quarters. But yeah, it was pretty good that they still were, you know, that low. But also, they might take multiple quarters, like, especially the newer machines. I think it was like the Laserdisc games that started that, and I've never forgiven them. Oh, you guys don't have them there. I mean, they're not that common here, it seems, but they're getting to be, or they've been getting to be more common. Like, sometimes the small towns are getting them. We destroyed them all. The real enemy is waiting behind that wall. Well then, let's go! Let's break that wall down. Oh, werewolves. Ooh, werewolves with very wild hair. No. Like he said, I'm not the big boss. I'm just the boss who's going to kill you. Like, every time you beat the one you think is the bad guy, there's got to be a bigger one. Oh, wow. What? I am King Zarutz, ruler of the beasts. I will turn this world into a kingdom of the dead. No one lives forever, pal. Show me what you're really made of. But the rights are still undecided for No One Lives Forever, so it will never be released. It may not be released, pal, but your soul will be released from your body. Oh, unless you kill me. Oh, he's straight up got claws on the ends of his. Are we ever going to discuss, like, why or how any of this? Like, I don't know, there was just a cyborg ready to get possessed by the ancient beast king, ruler of the dead. Or maybe he'd been possessing it, his soul was just, you know, in bed when we came in. I mean, I give him points for creativity. It's like, we've reached this, if it looks cool, let's get away with it stage of the beat 'em up. Maybe, like, I know I haven't played this before and haven't learned the strategy, but even if I had, it would still be quite difficult. Like, you know, some of the games, you know, they're hard, but they can be fair. And like with practice, you can beat them on $1. Others, it's just like, you know, pay more to advance. Baffling. Pretty much, yeah. it starts out, you think it's going to be a straightforward enough horror plot, but then it's just like, and we'll throw in everything. Still not as egregious as Necrovision. Ooh. Oh no. Oh. Should have known we weren't dead yet. Give one of the other characters a chance. Oh yeah, they did have that chase sequence when we were after the Phantom Carriage. It makes sense they would have another. Actually dead now? They've all been destroyed. Our heroes saved us. We did it. Yeah, looks like our job is finished here. Guess time to head home. Yeah, see ya. Bye. Thanks. Best of luck. Miss you guys. 3 months later. I've come to Acapulco with my sister to hunt monsters. Oops. Sister, forgive me. What did you do this time, Fifen? I messed up the spell. Huh, leave it to me, Squirt. Here we go again. Don't you hate it when your little sister messes up a spell and releases monsters on the globe again? Oh wow, and I didn't even get the top score. Top score. Oh well, at least I got on the scoreboard when I beat the game. Yeah. Well, that was Night Slashers. And I won't say it was the greatest beat 'em up, since it was a little more on the, lots of life bar draining, lots of cheap attacks side. But it still was fun. Right, damn Garen. That appeared on all the arcade games in the US for a while. And the winners don't use drugs. I mean, it had, good graphics and pretty responsive controls and good art direction, good character design, and lots of blood. I don't know if it worked or not, damn Karen. I think at some point there was the stereotype of bad boys hanging around the arcades doing drugs, and so maybe that was the FBI's way to prevent it, or at least try. It's a pretty decent game. The kind of game everyone should play through once. I don't know that I would necessarily buy the port if it weren't dirt cheap. I feel like that's one of those games that could have benefited from getting a real console port where they make the difficulty a little more balanced and figure, okay, here you've only got 9 credits, so work on improving your skills and getting through it, as opposed to, you want to beat this? No, shovel in a few dollars. Still, it was enjoyable. Oh yeah, check out what I got in the mail today. External hard drive. Not for me, unfortunately. It's for work. Gotta back up the files on a 10-year-old computer. Not much for entrails. Yeah, if you're not into gore, then it's not the sort of game for you, but it did have a lot of fun stuff. Yeah. But hey, it's kind of cool that we have the way to easily back up digital files, and that this is I got it used, but it's new in box, and it's 500 gigabytes, and it was only $20. I'm still, and I was buying external hard drives for the American Shakespeare Center, it was like, oh yes, you would like a terabyte? That will be $100. And that was the discount place. And I always do love the way technology advances. At the same time, missing the old technology, like arcade games everywhere. Oh yeah, you had that, which I was there for most of it. You had that marathon, was it 9 hours plus stream havoc? Yeah, 1 hour stream that lasts 9 hours. And did you find Alice when you got there? Shoot, I'm going to seem less original for using that joke because Sam and Max used it in our stream a couple weeks ago. Right. Used to. Yeah, you try to rely on the how long to beat, but they're just funning with you. I haven't done Shakespeare in a while. I used to enjoy acting, and at the American Shakespeare Center, I was just sort of an archivist / office intern for a couple of years. I miss it. I do sometimes enjoy writing things in the Shakespearean style. I miss acting in general. Maybe I'll try and audition for stuff. Now that the pandemic's getting to be over. Or maybe I'll try and get serious about voice acting. There are a lot of things I keep meaning to do, and then I keep doing other things. Hey. Really do appreciate all you guys coming out. Oh yeah, I've tried to write things in the Shakespeare style a couple times. A lot of fun. No, Upstart Crow. I remember you telling me about that, Karen, and I do intend to watch it. Because it sounds like it's going to be utterly hilarious. But yeah, I appreciate that, Havoc. And I really would like to do voice acting. I just need... I need to get a better demo, and I need to audition for stuff. And practice more, even if I feel like I can do a decent range of voices, even if I don't have a super good range, like, the legendary voice actors do. But it does seem like a lot of fun, even if it's not as fun as normal acting, it's still acting. Oh, is. Yeah, the streaming really is good practice. I figure we're gonna raid somebody, but just a second, let me see if I have something related to the discussions we were having. Hey, I'm back. But no, that's a good point, Hairball. If you have the right sort of voice for a role or certain types of roles, and like you're saying, Karen, some of the actors who are great voice actors have really similar voices, or their voice is so distinctive that so many of the characters they voice sound like it. So yeah, we were talking about the different sizes of money and how Australia has dollar coins and different sizes of money. Well, yeah, I can say that your money certainly does vary in size quite a bit. That is an Australian penny. And it's about 5 times the size of a US penny. Hey, no judgment. I like it. It's got kangaroos. And who doesn't love kangaroos? Damn it, I must really want dinner or something. Must be eating all that cake and sorbet and hot dogs in that game. Yeah, I figure at some point, since that was made, punnies have gotten a little smaller. Oh, it was in a lot of coins I bought. Somebody was selling like a pound of foreign coins for $3 at a flea market somewhere some years ago, and I just gave some to people from different countries I knew if they were from those countries, and then I just kept some. And I'm like, oh, that's neat, because I don't know if the US used to have huge pennies. Apparently Canada used to have larger pennies, but not like in the last 100 years. But money's just always so fascinating. Oh, okay, you guys got rid of your 1 and 2 cent coins entirely. I don't know. I'd heard that, Hairball, like more and more countries getting rid of the penny equivalents. Like, a few years back, Canada was talking about it. But I don't know if we ever had 2 cent coins in the US. We had 3 cent nickel coins, but I don't know if we had those since like the 1800s. Yeah, money's going through a lot of changes. But at least here you can still use like really old bills and coins to buy things. Right. Yeah, that must be a really old penny. It's like it's so huge. There must be like, a good amount of copper in there. Or maybe it's not solid copper, but still, it's like just the value of the metal alone is probably worth significantly more than 1 Australian cent. Oh, we're talking about how the US and Canada had quarters, but not many other places do. When I was interning at a Japanese film production company, like one of the other interns brought that up. How Japan didn't have quarters and so few countries did. And I think they figured out why. Oh, it was at least the coin was at least machine made. Oh. Right, 20 cents and 50 cents. And I think in England they have a 10 cent, but then the 20 cent or 20 pence and the 50 pence. But I think, in the US, the use of Spanish dollars, which were big gold coins, used to be pretty widespread. Like, they're actually legal tender here until the 1850s. And because the Spanish dollar was worth 8 reals, which is why it's called a piece of 8 in fiction, and because it was pure gold, you could cut it into 8 pieces worth 1 real each. And in the US, they would sometimes do that, but they would call the pieces bits instead of reals. That's why sometimes in the Wild West, you'll hear, or Wild West movies, you would hear them call a quarter 2 bits, or 50 cent 4 bits. And that's also apparently why stocks were traded in eighths of a dollar in the US until like almost the turn of the millennium, when they were finally like, okay, we're being ridiculous. Exactly, Hairball, the old rhyme. Shave and a haircut, 2 bits. Which, I don't know when that dated from, but it's been quite a while since a shave and a haircut was only a quarter. I remember in the 40s, I think, or at least in The Dame is Loaded, I think the shave, or maybe it was just a shave, was a nickel. And in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which was set in the 30s, they mentioned shave and a haircut, 2 bits. And I don't know. I don't think that's why we have 8 bits in computers. I think it's just because of powers of 2 and computers being written in binary. That's why the things keep doubling. 4-bit, 16-bit, or 8-bit, 16-bit, 64-bit. Oh, well, there's 32-bit. I don't know. I don't know much about computers and computing. Yeah, being able to actually slice the coin because gold is so soft. That's a crazy idea. I wonder how much they actually did that. But it seems like if 2 bits was kind of common slang for a quarter, and if that's, why the quarter became a coin. Really? Bit is a contraction of binary digit. I didn't know that. That's really cool. And it was an existing word, so that makes it easy. Yeah, why a byte is 8 bits. I don't know, it probably made sense in somebody's mind. Maybe it was just a big joke. Yeah, I guess that's all I know about the history of U.S. money and random facts. But it was cool that when I figured it out, it's like, oh wow, it really makes sense. There's nothing called a Turing. Yeah, well, it probably should be. I mean, maybe we'll change something to be called a Turing. And hopefully something common that people actually know and use. It's, Turing was kind of important in the development of computers. Yeah, they've got to discover some new concept or important thing in computers, and maybe they'll call it a Turing. It would be nice. Oh, no kidding. I have Turing on the 10-pound note. That would be. Yeah, I do love when the notes, the banknotes and coins celebrate different important figures from the nation's history. Which, so far, that's been kind of limited in the U.S. Mostly old, presidents and founding fathers, at least on the notes. And Stephen Fry. Oh, right. Just thinking, what do I know him from? Oh, right, a whole bunch of stuff. Jeeves and Wooster, for one. Yeah, I know, having the Queen on one side of most of the notes. And hey, you can put other people on the notes too, just on the back side. Yeah, we don't have living people on our notes or on our money in the U.S. It's been kind of a big thing ever since the Civil War. Yeah, a bit of Fry and Laurie, because I think did they do that after they did Jeeves and Wooster? I remember that was a funny show. I was, shocked by how risque it was when I saw it, but to be fair, I was 12 and it was British, so they actually allude to sex in this TV show? Is that done? Oh, it's England. I can get away with anything in England. It's been a rule since the Civil War, at least, because when they started making fractional notes to, use less metal because of the war, a couple of people got living people got their portraits put on the fractional currency, and so they changed the law. So now at least since the 1860s, it's been, if you want to be on money in the U.S., you got to be dead. That's why when we did our like presidential coins, 1 or 2 of the presidents hadn't died yet, so they didn't get to be on the coins. Yeah, Fry and Laurie seemed very naughty, but definitely funny. I like to think I'm a little less easily shocked these days. Of course, I think, yeah, you see a little more explicit stuff on television anyway. Cable being what it is. Game of Thrones, for instance. Yeah. Game of Thrones does not leave a lot to your imagination. Oh, Hugh Laurie does a good Australian accent. I'm trying to think. I don't know if I've seen him do that in any movies or TV shows. None that are coming to mind. There are so many great things that I still haven't seen. I always tell myself, before I die, I'm going to get caught up with all the good TV shows and movies. Which basically means I can't die. Oh. I see. It's a sketch that's a parody of Neighbours. Which I've heard of Neighbours because they mentioned it in the Angus Thongs and Full Frontal Snoggings books. Oh, Are You Being Served? That's a hilarious show. And, I didn't remember the bare-breasted mannequins in that. I remember the older woman saying, lines that could be taken as suggestive, and the studio audience just, going wild, assuming it wasn't a laugh track. But Are You Being Served is a really good show, and with so many good characters. Glass of water for Mr. Granger. Mr. Granger, are you free? She's got to be taking care of that cat of hers. So many good British comedies that actually make me laugh. Of course, some of the good American comedies have made me laugh too. Oh yeah, they did go heavy with the double entendres in that. And young Mr. Grace, who is 80 years old, always showing up with some gorgeous secretary on his arm. I remember watching Are You Being Served with a friend who or was living with me for a while and acted at the American Shakespeare Center. And he said he wondered if some of those guys were former great Shakespearean actors of the stage who were just having fun and doing that show. I've only seen 1 or 2 episodes of Yes Minister, Karen. I can't remember if it was Yes Minister or Yes Prime Minister. But I remember thinking it was funny and having some very humorous lines and some good political satire too. Here's an idea. Maybe we should just have a Twitch stream where we just all watch British comedy together. Is it against the rules to just stream British comedy shows? Probably. They have BBC streaming services for that. Yeah, watch party of British comedy would be fun. Okay, it's getting fairly late, and I should probably go. I was going to meet with a possible writing partner a little bit tonight, just talk about ideas. Much as I love just hanging out and chatting with you guys. And I did enjoy Night Slashers. Oh, my pleasure. I appreciate you guys being here. Let's see who we can raid. Probably don't even need to mute the tab now that my audio is split and you can't hear browsers. But I always do it just to be on the safe side. C-Cross is still streaming. Oh, thanks, Havoc. Oh, thank you, Dame Karen. I appreciate that. Let's see. Who's streaming? Seacross isn't streaming. Blacker isn't streaming. Oh, okay. My friend Andre is still streaming. He's a friend of mine from school. Mostly does VR streams and older FPSs. And he's also, or he's like a, voice actor who actually does professional work. And a cool guy. We should raid him. Oh, yeah, Covert Command is on too. I think, who have we not raided in the longest time? Well, Andres only streams Fridays and Saturdays, so I'll probably raid him tonight. He's not always streaming this late. And for those of, to wrap up, to talk about what we've got coming up. Tomorrow we're going to finish The Sandman, which is that dark fantasy horror game. And depending on how long it takes, we may start something else. Oh, my pleasure, Hairball. I really appreciate you guys coming out. Yeah, The Sandman's fun. I'm looking forward to seeing how it concludes. And then we might start, play another game that we can finish in one stream, or might start a longer game tomorrow. I'll have to have a couple things lined up. I'm glad you find it entertaining, and hopefully I pick random and strange enough games. And I don't know what we're going to start on Wednesday, since I feel like maybe we should start another longer game. Whether that'll be, I was kind of thinking, maybe do one action day and one adventure day, which I kind of been keeping to more recently. So maybe we'll start a more action-based game. Strange but fun, yeah. And it's exciting to explore new games that you don't see as often. And then next Saturday, I don't know what I'm going to do for Short Horror Saturday. And, oh right, actually I might as well tell you guys now, because, oh right, game based on Orpheus and Eurydice. Those aren't everywhere. I was going to announce it tomorrow, but I might as well tell you guys now. Twitch sent me an email the other day saying, "You've completed the path to affiliate. You're now eligible to join." I guess that was yesterday. So my plan is to, over the next week, make an emotes for myself, at least, placeholder ones, until I can hire someone to make nicer emotes. And then next weekend, oh, thanks, Havoc. I appreciate it. Oh, thanks. I've been thinking I should do an affiliate push this month, and then, I didn't have to. My intention is next weekend, I'll make Sunday my first, the first badge. That's kind of you. After next Short Horror Saturday, I'll submit the paperwork, and then I'll just be an affiliate. And so Sunday will be my first stream as an affiliate. And I was thinking I would do a 10-hour stream and have game giveaways and play random retro games. Just to make it kind of a big event. I was thinking of doing a 12-hour stream, but then I'm like, maybe I should work up to that. Start with a 10-hour stream. And then work my way up to the 48-hour streams. Actually, no, that sounds terrible. Oh yeah, I'll probably announce that tomorrow, and put it on my Twitter. That's right. Feel free to follow my Twitter, and also follow me on Twitch if you guys haven't. Yeah, I know, long streams. They seem really tiring. That's why so far I've been keeping my streams to, I think, between 3 and 6 hours, mostly. I feel like after much more than that, and certainly after 10 hours, I would be fading fast. Yeah, I feel like, 3 hours is a good amount of time. And sometimes it's better to do shorter streams, and not, kill yourself to make it a really long stream every time. That's my thought, at least. I don't know if I should do something on Wednesday, like, are there any games that I can get away with playing before I'm an affiliate that I couldn't once I'm an affiliate? But that was kind of something I was thinking of if I did try to do the Walking Dead plug-and-play light gun shooter. Since I feel like you guys, or people in general, would be a little more tolerant of me having terrible visual quality from, like, filming a television if I'm not an affiliate. But I don't know. Maybe eventually I'll get a capture card and there'll be a way to run plug-and-play devices through capture cards. Banned is banned. Well, hopefully nothing I get banned for. Yeah. I will have to be careful. Especially if I ever try and do Leather Goddesses of Phobos. Yeah, some. It's text only, but it's sexy text. Maybe that would make that a channel points reward someday. Right? No feed on stream. If I ever play BioShock Infinite on stream, I will not show off my BioShock Infinite socks. I just had them hanging on the wall. But thanks, Seacross. I don't want to be banned either. And everybody, please go check out Seacross. Who I was sorry I missed your Soviet Nintendo clone stream today. Because I saw it right before I was going to start, and I'm like, oh, shoot, that looks like fun. Maybe he'll still be streaming later. I'm going to guess they don't have a Dendy category. Oh, good, we can show off our fancy socks. That's allowed. It was a mess, so... I would imagine that kind of hardware is a little difficult and temperamental. Like, I would imagine American TVs aren't designed for Soviet systems, because, the Cold War. Even if the Cold War's been over for a little while. And soft porn adventure. Right, that's another one of those. That's a text adventure too, right, Hairball? Even though it's right in the title. It's like, there's only text. What can we get away with? As long as we make it funny and not gratuitous. Just R-rated. Okay, if I don't remove the socks on stream. Got it. Ah, Dendy was right after USSR. Okay, soft porn adventure was from the 90s. I'd heard the name before, and I was trying to remember if that was the one that's like a predecessor to Leisure Suit Larry. Like it's one of those things you hear about, but you don't necessarily know too much about. No. I think Twitch would, not. They probably wouldn't ban sexual text adventures. I mean, I would certainly hope not. Because, some of these modern games, they, like, straight up have sex scenes in them. Or at least nudity. I think some of them have sex scenes. Okay. Not that I really follow the modern games that much. I'm so behind. Right, when porn is in the name, it's like they might have an issue with it. Even if it's not actually porn. That would be fun. It's always fun to see what you can get away with until you get like banned or cease and desist letters from Twitch. It's like, hey, this is a wholesome Christian website. Get back to streaming God of War. I'm like, okay. Yeah, we can show games that have sex, and we can show games that we can eviscerate people in, and we can show games that have the foulest language. But no actual porn games. Maybe none of those pornographic puzzles that GOG, Gratuitously Orgiastic Games, was trying to sell me. Right, onward Christian Twitchers. Even if the games are about pagan gods. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I think I mentioned that a while ago for Valentine's Day. I think I told this on stream. I got an email from GOG. They were like, Play the sexy and romantic games for Valentine's Day. Look, here's a sexy game called Honey Pop. I'm like, okay. Women in swimsuits. Sounds like a sexy, flirtatious dating simulator / puzzle. When I go to the page, and it's like, this game is rated adults only. And I'm like, ooh. And they're like, oh, and this is the censored version that's rated adults only. And I'm like, okay, GOG, no, thank you. What are you doing, GOG? Is it even good or old? Is it even a game? So that's why I sometimes call them gratuitously orgiastic games. Because they sell one at least one adult. It's an only game, and I feel like the world should know about that. Probably be a moral crusade about it. Oh, 81. Sophomore Adventure was 1981. Neat, Hairball. I didn't realize it was the first Leader Sweet Larry was almost a graphical adaptation. At 81, that was really early. Yeah, back when text adventures were reigning supreme. That is cool, though. So maybe that was like the first sexual computer game. But yeah, dirty, naughty, good old games. What will you put on your site next? Well, night slashers, apparently. Oh yeah, that's my story about GOG coming on to me and trying to sell me indecent things, which are probably banned in 46 countries for all I know. But here, I'll go ahead and finish up, and I should grab food and then go meet with this person. But I will be back on tomorrow night, and we will finish the Sandman and either play or start something else. Maybe Haunting of Cliff House, which I have on CD-ROM, but I saw was released on Steam last month. I'll play that soon anyway, even though I skip half the puzzles. And Andre's still online, so we'll go ahead and raid him. An electricity company send you a Valentine. Wow. That's... I guess that's one way to try and get people to switch your electric companies. Send people Valentines. Maybe that's the way to get people to stay with your company. Thank you for being our Valentine. Keep giving us money. We love you because you give us money. I'm like, whatever, just, I don't want the lights to go out and the internet to go down. And thank you again for everybody who came through and hung out or lurked. I hope you enjoyed Night Slashers, and I really appreciate everybody who hangs out here and supports me and just chats and jokes around and enjoys the games, even when they're nightmare-inducing or just gory. So feel free to like or follow here and on Twitter, and I hope to see you all tomorrow. Oh, it was my pleasure, Karen. And yeah, everybody please stick around and say hi to Andre.